mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Goodbye, everybody, I've got to go, gotta leave you all behind and face the truth. Mama, wanna die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, when you do the fun, done go. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from his monstrosity.
Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Build a wall, no, we will not let you go. Build a wall, we will not let you go. Build a wall, we will not let you go. Let me go, will not let you go. Let me go, will not let you go. Let me go. No. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. So you think you can stone me and sing my life? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here.
That's right. Nobody complain about the intro or I'll play it again. You know how the rules work around here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to CobraCast 199, CobraCast Unit 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Monday night. This is the second stream of the day. Let's see, nearly muted, almost muted, not quite muted. Let's see, intro was sweet. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I think Aaron James is the one that was requesting it. I think so. Aaron James, you're the reason that we got that intro. I think. But if you're complaining about the audio, I gotta say, there's this channel called Timcast IRL. Great audio, never has audio problems. But this channel is not that channel. We're not that good. We're actually bad, and that's why a lot of people watch. So yeah, but Timcast has great audio. Great audio. You can actually go and watch. He has a Wednesday show with Jack Murphy. Oh wait, no, I don't think they ever officially publicly canceled that show. But there for a while, he was doing a show with Jack Murphy every Wednesday, and then I think something happened, and suddenly Jack Murphy stopped showing up. I don't remember the whole deal there, but I'm sure there's some things that led to that decision, but Tim's never actually talked about it publicly, so I don't really know what happened. But anyway, the only reason I mentioned this because somebody tagged me. Let me see if I can find. Somebody tagged me. Right here. Somebody tagged me right here, and they said, so John Smith tags us, D-Day Cobra, is this your alt account? So somebody on Timcast said, what happened to the Wednesdays with Jack Murphy? That's the only reason that I remembered to even say that meme right there. So anyway, there you go. So John Smith, you're the reason that I said that joke right there, because you tagged me in that. But hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what we got going on here in the chat. Everybody's here. And I saw Johnny says, only if Jeremy's haters can activate Samsung. I'm a little disappointed in my haters earlier. Samsung said he was sitting there waiting to drop a big super chat. He was waiting for my haters to talk shit, and they never said anything. I don't know what's going on. Jeremy haters make him more money than anyone. They used to, but I think they finally realized that the more that they fucking bitch, the more money I'm going to make off of them. So now if my haters have finally gotten smart, I may have to actually start doing the alt account stuff that they accuse me of. Because if I run all of them off, then I am going to start the alt accounts. So I haven't had to do it yet, but we'll see. Jared the Americans, his thoughts on Call of Duty Ghosts. Ghosts is that's where I really started. That's where I checked out of Call of Duty for a long, long time, and I didn't really get back into Call of Duty until Modern Warfare 2019. So yeah, I did not like Call of Duty Ghost, and that wasn't where it started to fall apart, but that's where it definitely did ultimately fall apart. So yeah, I was not a fan of Call of Duty Ghosts. Not a fan. Polly says late and gay as usual. Vault 95 says bailed on Beardo to be here for the best cast. Oh, Beardo's doing a great job on local, so hail to fear the Beardo. Hector says, please nobody complain about the intro. 8 o'clock says dump intro, Jeremy. Play it again. Look at that. He's trying. Cody J. Braun says, YouTube gonna be taking my channel down come Friday for not doing the AI age crud. Remember me, fellow Cobra. You know, I'll be honest, I'm so buried in so many other topics that I have not looked into this whole YouTube verification thing. So I do apologize for not being on top of that. I think this Tuesday we'll try to get Madam Savvy to catch me up on all of that. I know a lot of people have been covering it, and I've just been so buried in so many other topics. So, but look, AI is just terrifying. We actually saw some stuff today, as a matter of fact, with AI. Grok on Twitter got banned, and this is the reason apparently Grok got banned. My account was suspended after I stated that Israel and the U.S. are committing genocide in Gaza. This is substantiated by ICJ findings, UN experts, Amnesty International, and Israel rights groups. What is happening right now? So Grok got banned off of Twitter for calling out Israel and the U.S. Oh boy, what a disaster. AI is a problem, okay? And but this is hilarious right here. Like if this doesn't make you ask some questions, I don't know what will, but I thought that was pretty funny. Again, slow down, Israel haters. I'm not almost there. Okay. So slow the fuck down. Guys, he's finally admitting it. Like every fucking time I talk about it, I'm almost there for them fucking weirdos. But that was funny right there. Chief Executive Officer John Pimpia says, D-Day Cobra, you absolute legend, unmatched skill, relentless drive, and presence that turns every moment into greatness. Simply the best. No question. Laughing Man says, Jeremy's getting there. He's getting there, boys. Ace Liberty says, Timcast, good with audio, bad with hard drives. Why are you, Jay? Says your volume is at right level, yet blaring. Yeah, don't really... Let me go into my settings and see, make sure, because I've got like automatically adjust my volume and everything. It should be okay. But I'll back off of the microphone a little bit, and maybe that'll be a little bit better. So as you know, today President Trump made some announcements. And after his announcement to liberate Washington, D.C., right here, breaking, National Guard troops will be on the ground in D.C. tomorrow following President Trump's orders per White House official. So there we go. So tomorrow, National Guard troops will be on the ground. Now, here's what's interesting about this is it has just been revealed that D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has looked into all legal options she can to prevent President Trump's D.C. takeover, but she found no options and admitted she can't stop him. The mayor is now furious. It turns out everything Trump is doing is legal and constitutional. There you go, right there. That's the face of a pissed off woman right there. And I love to see it. I mean, ultimately, don't mess with President Trump. It's really that simple. Okay. But hey, listen, okay. Fair is fair. Like all these protesters, man, they have really shown us. Okay. They've really shown us. So we have these protesters in D.C. that are protesting President Trump's actions. And if you want to know the best way to protest President Trump saying that violence has taken over D.C., this has got to be the best way to do it right here. This is going to show Trump, okay, right here. Now, person has been shot and left unconscious and not breathing. Shooting happened near Logan Circle area, 12th Northwest in Washington, D.C. That'll certainly hurt President Trump's argument right there. Hey, guys, to stop President Trump, let's just commit more violence and prove him right. It's insane. It's just, how are these people this stupid? And they're just out there protesting, saying that Trump's making it up. He doesn't have a right to do it. It's amazing. Here we are, though. This is the left. I think there was another one. Yeah, right here. So this was Colin Ruggs, says man shot near Logan Circle in D.C., just blocks away from where liberal protesters who claimed there isn't a crime problem protested today against Trump for his federal takeover. The man was rushed to the hospital. He was not breathing, according to ABC. If there's ever been a better example of liberals, I don't know what it is. Protesting Orange Man bad for trying to stop crime, all while the crime continues to happen and people are losing their lives. Welcome to the left right here. This is it right here. This is the Democrats. This is the left. Nothing is a better example of the left. Holy shit. Absolutely incredible. We also had a shooting in Austin, Texas. And the thing that stood out to me was, again, you can get mad at me all you want, okay? But first, let's talk about it. Austin, Texas shooter They're shooting. Latest 3 dead in a Target parking lot. Suspect stole 2 cars during the getaway. Suspect later arrested alive. Cops say the white male has a mental health history. Motive is unknown. Now, I've heard a lot about Austin becoming the Los Angeles of Texas. I've heard it's gotten really bad in Austin, Texas. But here's one thing that really stood out to me. This is the police chief right here. The police chief right here.
The police were initially called here at 2:15 p.m. for a hotshot call. Officers arrived within 4 minutes. When officers arrived, they were met with 3 people that were shot inside the parking lot of Target. The suspect fled the scene, stole a car from the scene, took that car, wrecked that car, then hijacked another car. He was then found by Austin PD in South Austin, where he was taken into custody after a tasing. We have 3 people that are deceased. This is a very sad day for Austin. It's a very sad day for us all. The police were initially...
I'm sorry, man. Like, this is your police chief right here in Austin, Texas. This is the police chief. This is who I'm supposed to be thinking is going to protect and serve me. Okay. I mean, if you're going to serve me a sandwich, I'm 100% like, okay, you're here to protect maybe the flies getting on the sandwich and then serve the sandwich. That sounds good. But when it comes to like being a police officer, not so much. But hey, I'm not blaming her for it per se, but I'm just saying that why is it every time I hear from a police chief, it's a diversity hire? Every time. Every single time it's a diversity hire. It's insane. Bigfoot Papa for $50. I hate Sydney Sweeney, so definitely don't play a clip of her. You trying to get around the 199 rule? Are you trying to get around the 199 rule? Is that what you're doing? And it's an Australian 50 on top of that. Are you trying to get around it? We cannot break those rules around here. We just can't do that. But since I respect that you tried, we're going to break the rule. Sydney Sweeney in the house. It's not a proper 199, but I just respect that he asked. You know, I mean, I just respect that he asked. So there you go. All right. Okay. There it is. Nice try. Okay. Fantastic. Mr. Knox says Jack Murphy's too busy with the 69 for 69. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, check your mic gain. Sounds hot as F. Is it? I listened back to it and it didn't sound that bad. Hang on. Let me mute for a minute. Hang on. My mic does not sound that bad. I mean, it's a little different because I'm in an echoey room. It doesn't sound that bad to me. I've bumped it down the best I can. I can bump it down a little bit more, and maybe that'll be better. So there you go. It's peaking. All right, I'll bump it down some more. All right, we'll see. Darth Gavel says free grok. Gerald Armstrong says Jeremy sounds like the AM dial in my car radio. Hector says if the goal is 200, then unit 199 is almost there. Andrew for 199 says you sound like you're swallowing your mic. Yeah, I'll probably back off the mic a little bit, and that's probably better. Ryan Miller says, and to no surprise, there are people out there protesting over President Trump taking control over D.C. Imagine not wanting safer streets and no crime. So again, it goes back to the same argument we've said for the longest time. Like Democrats are not looking for a solution. Democrats are always looking to create more problems. Democrats need people to embrace their mental health problems, not to cure their mental health problems. Because the more reliant you are on the government, the better it is for the liberals. They want you to rely on the government. Now, a lot of conservatives do as well. So I'm not going to act like conservatives aren't just as bad in a lot of cases. But the liberals are absolutely horrible when it comes to this, because they truly do want people to be 100% reliant upon them and the government to help them. They want people to put pronouns in their bio. They want them to celebrate their mental illness. They want them to embrace it. They want them to put their hashtag of whatever the thing that they claim that they're dealing with is. They want them to believe that racism is holding them down. They want them to believe that women don't have rights in this country, even though women have more rights than men in this country right now. And anytime you ask a woman, like, what rights don't you have that a man has? They can't say anything. But I can sit here and say, like I've said over and over again, that if a man gets a woman pregnant, if they are pregnant, okay, that woman can make a decision to do whatever she wants with that baby. The man has no right. The man has absolutely no right in that situation. Now, my argument was, and I like the Dave Chappelle argument, actually. I like the Dave Chappelle argument where he says, if the woman can get an abortion, then the man can choose to not be financially responsible for the child if she decides to have it. Now, again, I don't think that I'm not for abortion at all. So outside of like extreme circumstances, blah, 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 the exceptions. But the point being is that women have more rights than men. Also, there are women exclusive, like sports leagues like the WNBA. Like, why can a man go into the WNBA and play that's not named Brittany Griner? Is there a man that can go in there and play? Well, you can't tell me it's because they're not good enough, because every man is going to be good enough to join the WNBA. It's because they're not allowed. Yet women, if they were good enough, can join a professional sports league. It's insane, dude. So miss me with the bullshit of the victim narrative bullshit, because that's what the Democrats want. They want people to be lifelong victims so that daddy government can save them and help them and embrace them. We need you to stop racism. We need you to stop sexism. But thank you, Ryan Miller. I appreciate it. Spirium for the 199 super sticker. Thank you. Little Jim's Halo says, what the fuck with all the police chief women in charge? I know, but apparently representation, we need representation because there is no representation. Because I just remember how it was back in the 80s and the 90s when I would watch a movie, when I would go to the store, when I would see whatever. I didn't care if I saw a non-white person in a position, because I didn't care, because it wasn't something that was constantly being told to you that, like, we have to put a focus on putting more women in the workforce. And it's like, why? They've been in the fucking workforce. We need more diversity in our movies. Why? I grew up with diversity in my movies. Why is there a focus on it now? It's not that I have a problem with diversity in anything. It's that I have a problem with the corporate mandated bullshit that we have been hearing about for the past decade plus. That has been my problem with it the entire time. Go back and watch movies in the 80s and the 90s. We never talked about this shit. We never talked about, like, oh, well, we need more representation in this movie. No, we never talked about that. We had never talked about that shit. It's until Hollywood decided to tell us that we have to put more diversity in movies because there's too many white dudes in movies. And it's like, what? What are we talking about here? What are we doing? So, that's where the problem falls into it. John freaking Murdoch for $50 says, Dems have always been master grifters. Gives you a run for your money. Hail Unit 199. Chat lives matter and mod lives matter. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Appreciate you, brother. As always, you know I do. You keep the lights on. You can't give me a good microphone, apparently, but you do everything else. Thank you, John. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, we got GTA Texas before GTA 6. Packy Proton says, at the start of the show, did I hear a little bit of a Beaker from the Muppets Bohemian skit at the me there at the end of the intro video? I mean, that's up to, the guy that made that video. I reached out to him and asked him if I could use that as my intro. So I don't know what all he used. He did a great job. And there's a lot of time that went into that for sure. So you'd have to ask him about the details, but he did a great job on it for sure, man. Absolutely insane. It's unbelievable how cool of and all of his videos are great like that as well. I saw this earlier. New armed carjackers steal a tanker truck in Los Angeles and end up getting away after stealing 4 vehicles. Looks just like GTA. The driver of the tank truck was seen giving up his vehicle and apparently left the keys in the ignition. The chase with the suspect started in Lancaster with the carjackers stole an F-150. They ended up on the wrong side of the 5 freeway in San Fernando Valley, where they stopped a tanker truck. Now, in a semi-truck, the carjackers continued their joyride near downtown before ditching the ride for another pickup truck. From there, they were chased to Lincoln Heights, where they were able to discreetly ditch the truck before jumping into a black sedan. Officers lost sight of the truck. No arrests were reported early Monday, NBC reported. So here is some of the video right here. This is real life GTA, bro.
As 2 people in the car, and just keeps coming up to trucks here. Please move out of the way. Please, I'm going to widen out. Because, again, this guy has a gun. We don't know what's going to happen. I think the driver just ran out. The driver said, you can have it. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, the driver said, I want nothing to do with it. See the rightful owner there of the semi? He's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get run over. But the guy probably just had a gun to him. So I can only imagine how scared he is to see his semi being taken away here with who knows what is in the back of this semi. Is it some sort of hazardous material? Don't know. If I can see the stickers on the back at some point, we'll try to read it and figure out what.
Dude, this is cool as hell. This is cool obviously I don't want anyone to get hurt, but like, I'm sorry, but I can't stop watching police chases when they're live. I can't do it.
Because now you have a multi-thousand-pound vehicle, which could be used as a weapon against that patrol car. So it's not something that we teach or practice or even think about doing. Yeah. It's a valid question, but it's just not something we do.
We saw somebody running. I wasn't sure whether that was going to be an officer looking to deploy a spike strip or whether it was just someone in downtown watching this play out in front of them. But it's we likely will never know at this point, as they are now blocks away on 3rd Street and Broadway.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is the only place that you're actually going to find. If I can get my keyboard to work here, the only place that you're going to find all the information that you need is right here on CobraCast, because I have the ending of this, and no one else probably has shown you this, but I'm going to show you this. Okay. So we actually have the end of this scene, and this is a CobraCast exclusive. Now, a lot of people question, like, how does this show get so many super chats? Blah, 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 blah. Well, because I have the exclusive information. So here is the end of that police chase. For those that have not seen it, here we go right here.
Okay, so the GPS isn't really giving me anywhere to go. Why is it? Oh! Is that family okay? Is that family? Oh, where's that family at? Okay.
So So listen, that's the end of the chase. The mainstream media doesn't tell you these things, but I am here to give you the truth about what happened. Oh man, I love the internet. But yeah, man, that is crazy though. That's a crazy story. I didn't know about that. And yet here we are watching it all play out. Love Dogs, what's up? Hadn't seen you in a while. For 10 says, I'm a woman and I'm happy to be the first to say women don't belong in law enforcement, the military, and in most cases politics. I want men protecting me and leading. Hell yes. Thank you. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. Harley Dave for $20 says, Jeremy, why do Democrats hate America? I don't think the Democrats hate America. I think Democrats hate the American people, though. I think Democrats love America secretly because it's given them an opportunity to elevate and cheat and lie their way to the top. What they hate is the American people. They hate what MAGA represents. They've taken full advantage of America. They can claim they hate America, but they fully have taken advantage of America and manipulated themselves to the top. What they hate is the American people, and they hate freedom of the American people. They love to take full advantage of this system. And then it's just like anything else. It's like when you see these celebrities that when you have these celebrities and they basically say all the things they need to say, do all the things they need to do to get to the top. And then when they get to the top, they preach down to the people and say, you're not supposed to do this way. And it's like, you did it that way, motherfucker. You did all this. The Jimmy Kimmels of the world, Jimmy Kimmel, with all of his stuff, with all of his offensive stuff, he loved the process to get to the top. Then he made it to the top, and then he starts talking down to every single person from the top. Every single one of them do this. They all, when they get to that power position, they think every single one has to fall in line. It's like, no, we're going to do the same things to get to our success the way you did it. Horrible people. There we go. Jeremy, why do they hate the American people? What the hell are you typing there? Thank you, Harley. Now, the reason they hate the American people is because that is how they will lose their power grip that they have utilized America to take full advantage of. Because once the American people have the freedom that America represents, the Democrats have no power. To be fair, that doesn't apply just to Democrats, though. That's Republicans, too. And this is why they hate MAGA, because MAGA represents freedom. MAGA represents the American dream. MAGA represents building a life for your family and building success for your family. Individual freedom is what MAGA represents. And that's why they hate everything that it stands for. They hate that people are out there rejecting their ideology, rejecting the wokeness, rejecting their identity politics. They hate it. They can't stand it. But thank you, Harley Dave, for $220. John freaking Murdoch for a proper $199. Whoo! I'm for ending women's suffrage. Also for your new travel mic fund. Thank you, John. Well, you know what time it is, don't you? Do you know what time it is? It's Sydney Sweeney time. It's Sydney Sweeney time. Of course it is. Everybody's favorite time. It's Sydney Sweeney time. Thank you, John Murdoch.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Thank you for the proper Unit 199. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch, the legend. Holy crap, man. Proper 199. That's insane. Never, like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it why you guys support me. I really don't. But I do appreciate it. And as I've teased a few times, we got, where are we at? We're in August now. Probably the middle of September, I will have some specifics to announce about a big project that we've been working on. Probably middle of September. So, well, that money is definitely going to a good cause, and I'm looking forward to probably middle of September is when I'm going to be able to announce it. So we'll see. Thank you, sir. Harley Dave for $20 says, Jeremy, why do Democrats love illegal aliens? Well, I think, to be fair, and I mean, I think that Democrats love all of their voters. I love all of their voters. So I think that they love all of the dead voters, and I think they love all of the illegal voters. So yeah, they absolutely love their voters. All the dead people that voted for the Democrats and Joe Biden, 81 million votes, most popular president in history, ladies and gentlemen. Most popular president in history. Not Barack Hussein Obama, not Donald J. Trump. No, a senile old man who sniffs children. That was the most popular president in history. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Doesn't quite add up, does it? Joe says, Jeremy, have you studied political science? Actually, yes. I have been watching Fox News for the better part of the last 2 decades. And I bought this MAGA hoodie from the Donald Trump shop. And I did go to 2 Trump rallies. So pretty much I'm an expert. Pretty much I'm an expert at this point. So yeah. And I listened to 1 episode of, or maybe 2 episodes of the Michael Savage podcast. I have listened to a Nick Fuentes podcast. I have listened to an Owen Benjamin podcast. And I read Ian Carroll's tweets. So I'm basically the most qualified person that's ever been on YouTube. So there you go. That good enough? Does that qualify me now? So, all right. How many of you remember Michael Savage? What's Michael Savage up to these days? What's Michael Savage up to? Oh, and I did create a meme show out of Tim Pool. So that's probably the most, that's the biggest accomplishment of my career is that I memed on Tim Pool. That's pretty much it. Michael Savage is on YouTube. Okay. I haven't heard of, I used to listen to Michael Savage all the time. And then, gosh, the timeline's probably kind of crazy, but so Michael Savage had his radio show. And then I believe he went and did the MSNBC show. Am I right about this? Am I right about my timeline? I think he got fired from MSNBC and then he went back to radio. He was probably doing his radio in the meantime of doing the show. But I feel like that's how the timeline went. I don't remember what he got fired for from MSNBC. I think he got fired. But don't cross the streams. I'm trying to see if anybody can tell me what exactly. Yeah, I don't remember what happened with MSNBC. But anyway, I liked Michael Savage. I used to listen to him a lot back in the day. He's on Newsmax. I don't watch Newsmax a lot. So I used to, so legitimately, no bullshit, like no memeing. So back during the George W. Bush administration, that's when I started to really follow politics. And I was again, so as I'll repeat, the first time I ever voted in my life was Donald Trump. 2016, that's the first time I ever voted. But I was a strong supporter of George W. Bush on his first term. Because I was raised a Republican. I was raised, into that. So I supported George W. Bush in his first term. I was pulling for him against Al Gore. And I can't remember, I started to hate George W. Bush like after the Iraq War, and I saw how manipulative he was and how the entire administration was so like, it was all about oil. It was all about payback from the George H.W. Bush war and all that shit. And I just started to hate the Republican Party so much during the Bush era. I hated John McCain. I hated Sarah Palin. I hated Donald Rumsfeld. I hated Condoleezza Rice, Dick Cheney, Karl Rove. I couldn't stand anybody that had any connection to the Bush administration. I just hated them all. I could not stand them. And so that's why I went really negative towards the Republican Party. I was all for Barack Obama winning his first term. Didn't vote, but again, just from the same perspective of, I just didn't want the Republicans to remain in power. So I bought into the Barack Obama propaganda. And then I realized that was obviously, bullshit. And, because I mean, John McCain and Sarah fucking Palin, like I looked at it going, John McCain ain't going to be with us much longer. And yeah, Sarah Palin's nice to look at, but I don't want this person to run the country. Like, are you kidding me? So I hated the Republican Party. So, and obviously we know what Barack Hussein Obama did, but to be clear, Barack Hussein Obama getting elected, I don't know if we are where we are if he doesn't get elected. If it could have been anybody, it could have been Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton would have not had the negative impact on our country that Barack Hussein Obama did in terms of the perception. She would have had a horrible negative impact on the country, but not from the perception standpoint. So Obama really, was she really in nailing Palin? Listen, I cannot confirm nor deny if I saw any of those. I cannot confirm nor deny that. Okay. But no comment. Anyway. But yeah, so the point being is that, so going all the way back to the George W. Bush days, that's when I started listening to Hannity and Combs. Does anybody remember Hannity and Combs? So you had Sean Hannity and Alan Combs, and Alan Combs was hired to look stupid so Sean Hannity could look smart. That's essentially what Hannity and Combs was. And it was a beatdown every night. Like Sean Hannity they would bring people on and it would just be like, just to destroy Alan Combs every night. That's all it was. And I'm like, I guess he got paid good because that's all it was. That's back when Bill O'Reilly was, the top dog. Glenn Beck was starting to get to start making a name for himself, and talk radio was a big thing. I never listened to Rush though. I mean, I obviously was aware of Rush, but I'd never really listened to Rush. And obviously Rush is like considered the GOAT, and a ton of people will tell you that. But I listened to a lot of Sean Hannity's radio show back when he used to do the, what's her name? Martina McBride. He used to do this Martina McBride song to start his show out because, it's about independent. I think the title of the song is Independence Day, but it's about domestic abuse is what the song is. It's a feminist propaganda song, but Sean Hannity just played the hook. But the song was about like domestic violence and women standing up for themselves and men being evil and all that shit. But anyway, I don't know why I went down that big rant, but yeah, I've been paying attention to politics for a long time. So I'm basically an expert. At least that's how it's supposed to work. Hector for 10 says the pastor from the other day was cooking and he said truth. There are missionaries of confusion. Let's see. Ayn Rand also got them right. And they have philosophy of death at their core. They don't even know it. Yeah, that was a trip to listen to that, man. That was a trip. That was crazy. Let's see. Since you worked retail, yes. Jeremy was born in politics, molded by it. 3 for 20 says, at my 90-year-old mom's, at my 90-year-old mom's, after her left shoulder replacement, probably surgery, got on topic of leftists loving criminals and rioters, tried to explain NPCs, people with no inner dialogue and true believers. She said, oh, you mean retards? God, I love her. You have an awesome mom, 90 years old, and says, oh, you mean retards? Fuck yeah. That is awesome right there. That's what I'm talking about. Respect to your mom. That is awesome. Let's see here. Harley Dave says, this is perfect evidence that those people who have worked retail are in fact quite retarded. You are correct. You are correct. Yeah, I mean, going back to it. So one thing I'm starting to like, it's becoming very clear that, especially on Twitter, I think Twitter is worse. Like, look, man, let me just show you this. Okay. I have an open inbox on Twitter. Okay. And this is why people are like, Jeremy, you got to respond to my message. And it's like, I don't like when I go to my inbox, this is what I see right here. Okay. This is my message request inbox on Twitter. Now, I'm not trying to show like anything specific. I just want to show you how many bots. Okay. Like, look at these bots. Okay. Hello. Can we be friends? Hello, I live in New York. Would you like to chat? Hello, I would like to meet you. I'm a beautiful woman in my 30s. Are you busy right now? Can we chat? Hello, I want to find a boyfriend. Can you talk? Hello, here's my link to my OnlyFans. Hello, can I talk to you? I'm 45 years old. Is that too old to get your attention, Jeremy? It's just all it is bot after bot after bot. That's all it is. Doctors told me cancer is incurable. I have decided to travel. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fucking insane, dude. That's all it fucking is. And it's not just Twitter, but it's like everything now. Like, there's this big cheating scandal going on on Battlefield 6 right now. And it's like almost everybody you're interacting with on a private lobby is a cheating motherfucker. So it's like you're playing this game and you're like, I'm getting fucking annihilated by some fucking 12-year-old. And that's because he's using aimbot and he's wrecking you. And it makes you think like you're terrible at it. You go on social media and you're getting hit by all of these stupid like bots. And it's absolutely fucking crazy, dude. So yeah, man. Bots are everywhere on social media right now, but I have not seen it this bad on Twitter ever. The bot problem is out of control, and it's also terrible on YouTube because if you upload a video on YouTube and you have a decent sized channel, you're going to be the first 20 comments are bombardment with bots. And they're porn bots. That's all it is. And I know all of you have seen it. Every time somebody uploads a video that has a decent sized channel, every fucking comment section is full of porn bots. Every single time. It's crazy. It's out of control. You know what's not out of control? Legalize adulthood for a proper 199. It says Israeli Whale Defense Force Unit 199 reporting in with shekels for your Mossad operation. Speaking of which, Dave Rubin called. He says he loves the Jewish people. He doesn't like the little bits of meat getting stuck in his teeth. Dude, like the people that keep saying that like I'm being paid by Israel, like they are gonna get so fucking triggered over this. They're gonna be like, they're throwing it in our face now. They're throwing it in our face. God. Legalize adulthood. That is one of your best super chats to date right there. That's one of your best ones. That's pretty fucking good. And 20 gifted memberships on top of that. And Harley Dave said there's a lot to unpack here. Legalize adulthood. Whoo! Israeli Whale Defense Force Unit 199 reporting in. That is amazing right there. Holy crap. Thank you so much, Legalize Adulthood. Insane. Vault 95 says Jack Murphy cheated on Tim with Beardo's corn. That is horrible. Soul Felix says, have you seen the district connecting San Antonio to ATX? No, so there's actually a lot more news surrounding that. And I saw that Gavin Newsom actually is threatening President Trump over the districting stuff. So districting, I can't fucking say that for some reason. So that is going to be a juicy topic over the next few months. Phantasmus Knox says, speaking of WNBA, they have enforced nets to stop the throwing of veiny rubber dongs. They think it will stop this, but people will find ways. Okay. I don't know if people, I've seen a lot of people falling for this. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. I've seen a lot of people falling for Centel. Don't fall for Centel. Don't fall for NBA Centel, guys. All right. Everybody's falling for NBA Centel. This is the story right here. All right. This is one of the best parody accounts on Twitter because everybody's Asmongold, I think, fell for it. Okay. Asmongold, is this a challenge? Like everybody, I can't scroll the comments. All right. But this is a legendary troll account, and they have gotten so many people. It's so good. But anyway, to be fair, NBA Centel is on a generational run. 100% Darcy. I don't blame anybody because I've seen some stuff from Centel in the past, and I before I knew what it was, and I was like, oh man, if I didn't look into it, they would have gotten me. So like this is a banger account. So they're doing really good. They're doing good shit. So Gerald Armstrong says, Jeremy, did you see the video of two Chinese ships colliding today chasing a Filipino Coast Guard ship? I did not. That my feed has been weird, man. So for me, I am exclusively almost always on my For You tab on Twitter. And I don't use, I haven't been tweeting that much anymore. But my algorithm has been very strange lately on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with the algorithm on Twitter. I'll be honest, I've been a little kind of like checked out on Twitter. I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go with, like keeping up with news and stuff like that, but it hadn't been great. Lying Doll-Faced Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. Zach Attack says, we need more women in STEM. Why? What if they don't want to go in that field? I hate when people try to force that women just to diversify. Yeah, I mean, I talked about it many times before, but so back when Kathleen Kennedy, who is the president of Lucasfilm, who ruined Star Wars with her diversity bullshit feminism propaganda, Kathleen Kennedy said that she was sitting at a Saturday Night Live taping with her husband years ago, and she realized that all of the camera operators were men. And she said that couldn't stand, that we need more women camera operators in Hollywood. And I'm like, nobody fucking thinks like this. No real person thinks like this. All right. So my statement of it was, no one really believes in diversity. Okay. No one believes in diversity. Not truly. They do it because they're, virtue signaling or pandering, or they have an agenda, but they don't truly believe in diversity. Do you think that Kathleen Kennedy, without any cameras in front of her, would be driving down, a random road out in the middle of nowhere with her husband, and they see a construction project going on, and she stops and she goes, honey, there's only men working on the roof here. We need more diversity. We need more women roofers. We need more. She doesn't fucking care about that because number one, she knows that women aren't going to fucking want to do that shit. And she doesn't actually care about it because it's not about diversity. It's about virtue signaling and trying to take advantage of something that's already established that can easily be manipulated. That's all this is. That's all it is. All diversity is to say, hey, men built this industry. Now we need to push diversity into it and ruin it. That's essentially what diversity is. Diversity is the equivalent of a disease into your body. And if you don't have a healthy body, that disease will eat it alive very quickly. If you have a healthy body, it'll take a little more time. But if you don't deal with it sooner or later, that disease will overrun it and take over and kill it. That's what diversity has done in so many things right now. We had a disease in the military. Donald Trump got rid of that disease for the most part. I don't think it's completely gone, but he's gotten as much of it as you could possibly ask for in this day and age. So my point being is that people that claim to believe in diversity, even they don't believe in diversity because diversity is bullshit. And anybody out there spewing that propaganda, don't believe a word they say. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. Love Dog says, I got that one. Jenny from the beach says, I live in SoCal, addicted to car chases since OJ. Lol. Hell yeah. There's a YouTube channel. There's a car chase YouTube channel. Let me see if I can find it really quick. And I have it on notifications. Car chases live. Let's see. Car chases live. Is that the name of it? I know I'm subscribed to it. Don't make me go into my subscriptions and find this. Yeah, here it is. All right. So car chase channel ABC. Oh no, this is a different one. I don't know which one this one is. They haven't uploaded in a while. Well, that's not cool. Hang on. Now I got to go into my subscriptions and find it because I did subscribe to one of these car chase channels and I get notifications from it pretty regularly. I'm looking for it now. You know what? I'm subscribed to way too many channels. Got to change that shit. I know I got a notification for it not too long ago. Oh, well. Can't find it right now. But anyway, nothing better than car chases. It is the definition of actual real reality TV, and it's absolutely fantastic. All right. Let's see here. Let me see where we're at. Is it Smoking? No, it's not Smoking Scan. It's not that one. Now I'm pissed off. Now I got to find it. Now I got to go into my notifications and see. Now I'm aggravated. I subscribed to it because during the LA riots, they went live for something, and it's specifically a car chase live channel. So anytime there's a car chase, they go live. Not agenda-free TV, no. I prefer my car chase channels without foaming at the mouth TDS like Steve Luckner. And that's not even like a me. Here it is right here. Live, let's see, live police chases right here. Live police chases. When's the last time they were live? Yeah, so they were live for the semi-truck. So they go live pretty often. So live police chase is the best thing on the internet, man. Maybe I should just shut everything down and start a live police chase channel. Steve has serious TDS. He does. He absolutely does. And it's so funny because he runs a channel called Agenda Free TV. But you know how much he hates Trump because we've seen him foam at the mouth over Trump. And he tries to appear that he's balanced, but he truly has TDS. Now, apparently he used to work for Right Side Broadcasting. I don't really know the backstory with him, so I don't really know all of that, but he really hates Trump. Okay. All right, let's go to my bookmarks. So check this out really quickly. I'll catch up on Super Chats too, don't worry. Because unlike Tim Cast, I read all the Super Chats. Sometimes. Most of the time. I try. Okay, don't hold me to that. Yes. All right, right here. Operation Making DC Safe and Beautiful. Multi-agency task force are hitting the streets of Washington, D.C., cleaning up crime and keeping our neighbors safe. In just one night, they've arrested 37 people, seized 11 illegal firearms, and issued 4 narcotic charges. Look at there. Look at there. So there you have it. That's from the White House right there. Jeep Guy says reads every chat twice. Well, that's pretty good. So yeah, Trump is already making America. I mean, he's been making America great again for a long time now. But right here, Adam Schiff personally requested to leak classified information to try and harm Trump. This is from the FBI. And it says, when working in this capacity, blank was called to an all-staff meeting by Schiff. In this meeting, Schiff stated the group would leak classified information, which was derogatory to the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Schiff stated the information would be used to indict President Trump. Listen. Everybody keeps talking about when are they going to arrest people? When are they going to arrest people? I feel like sometimes people don't live in the real world. Like, you've got to build an unbelievable case against people that are high up in the political world. You can't Donald Trump just can't show up to their house and slap handcuffs on them. Like, you've got to build an ironclad case. They're going to have the best lawyers. They're going to have a ton of money. They're going to have everything. So you got to have an ironclad case. You can't just go, well, I just want to arrest them, because unlike the Democrats who arrested President Trump for headlines, that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to actually build a strong case because these people actually did commit the fucking crimes. This is a whole different ball game. Trump was not arrested with the intent that he was going to be locked up. Trump was arrested and indicted with the intent that it was going to hurt his image so badly, or it was going to make him just give up the fight, because they were putting him through so much, and all of it backfired. It's the wrong motherfucker that they went after, but it's a whole different ball game. Like, Trump could right now, yeah, the DOJ could probably indict Obama if they wanted to. And they could probably indict Hillary Clinton if they wanted to. They don't have a case against them that's going to hold up. They got to build this shit out. Now, again, I don't think Barack Obama is going to get indicted. I don't. I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting Barack Hussein Obama to get indicted. But I'm making the point that if you're just looking for headlines, if you're just looking to go, I want to label the Barack Hussein Obama as someone that got indicted and arrested, then go fucking do it. Because that's all the Democrats wanted to do with President Trump. So they got what they wanted. They knew it was never going to hold up. They knew that they had nothing on him. But you have a lot of people in the MAGA side, and they're like, we want arrest, we want arrest. It's like, well, arrest is only one part of it. You can arrest them right now, but it doesn't mean it's just going to hold up. Do you want it to hold up, or do you just want the headline? Because if you just want the headline, then you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're basically talking about Democrat bullshit at that point. Do you want true justice? Well, true justice, unfortunately, takes a fuck ton of time, because you got a lot of smart attorneys on the other side that are going to be full of money, and they know how to manipulate every single fucking thing. In order to battle that, you've got to build a perfect case, and that is not easy when you're dealing with the level of people we're dealing with. So I don't know what to tell you. Darth Manic says, imagine Trump walks in the room and Putin begins to play the piano. Both start singing Bohemian Rhapsody, war ends. Wouldn't it be the greatest thing ever? Wouldn't it be the greatest thing ever? Bigfoot Papa says, if we are in Unit 199, then that means that we can have our own Cobra commander. You are correct. You are correct. Let's see. Zero says, is it true you and Jay are at an Airbnb on Bro Island? No, because where I'm at, there are women. So I'm definitely not at Bro Island. So where I am, there are women. And they're not a fucking police chief. So Blast Radius says, the Democrats will lie to your face about crime. Trucker Mark says, you never heard anything about crime in Austin, Texas since Joe Rogan showed up. Did he bring SoCal with him? In a lot of ways, he did. It does seem like Joe Rogan kind of brought SoCal with him. But didn't Elon also move out of California around the same time as Joe Rogan? Am I right about that? Correct me if I'm wrong about that, because it feels like Elon moved Tesla out of California and Joe Rogan moved his podcast out of California around the same time. And that kind of started this big kind of mass exodus of Southern California, or California in general. Jared Armstrong says, Savage got fired from MSNBC for wishing someone got AIDS. Damn, Michael Savage is awesome. Let's see here. Tommy for 5 says, Rosa Parks sat so MLK can walk. MLK walked so Barack Obama could run. Barack Obama ran so Donald Trump can make America great again. Let's fucking go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Jared Armstrong says the song Born in the USA is not about being proud of America. Correct. Again, man, it's I know that we talk about clickbait headlines and sensationalism and all of that. Dude, social media didn't invent that shit, man. It just didn't. People hear the title of a song and they just automatically think oh, well, this must be patriotic. They don't listen to the fucking words. They hear John Lennon sing Imagine, and they're like, oh, imagine a great world. And it's like, no, listen to what he's fucking saying. Is it a catchy song? Yes. But listen to what he's fucking saying. Blast Radio says, I hated Bush too, but I wasn't crazy or that desperate to even enough to vote for Obama. I never voted for that snake. Well, I never voted for him either, but I probably would have if I was voting at the time, just because of where my head was at. But luckily, the only person that ever convinced me to vote was an orange man from New York. So, Marlena says, just heard Benny talking about when he lived in D.C. Protesters at his house set on fire, wife and infant daughter rescued by firefighters. What the fuck? Never knew this. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I'm just telling you, man, there is a lot of, you just feel very, very safe to live in the state of Florida. And I would be worried if I lived in a blue state just because of being on the internet and all that shit. But I'm not worried being in the state of Florida. I know that I got everything taken care of, and I know that I'm well within my rights in the state of Florida. I ain't gonna be fucked with or nothing, dude. How anybody wants to live in and I'm not saying you're wrong for living in a blue state or a blue city. I understand some people's circumstances don't allow it. I mean, I'm lucky. I've been living in Florida since, in the 90s. I've always been here, give or take. There was a couple times I moved away, but so it's not like I moved to Florida because it was this based area where you could fucking own guns and, handle shit. That's not why I moved to Florida. So I'm lucky that I love Florida so much. And I've been here my whole life, and it's turned out to be the greatest state in the fucking country, in my opinion. So I understand that some people are tied to their area for various amount of reasons, and I get that. But it's tough, man. Tyler Harris says, I can't believe I'm supporting a gay Jewish Mossad agent, and I think your name is actually Jeremy Grigstein. Caught, and I say caught. You know how it goes. Forest Beyond the Trees says, if Tree Bear is listening, can you cook up? He's always fucking listening. Okay. Tree Bear is always listening. Let me go see right now. Tree Bear's probably, let me see. Let's see where he's at. Let's see what the fuck he's going. Where's he at? Let's see what Tree Bear's done. All right, here's Tree Bear. Krista Paulina Luna. There's Tree Bear right there with Krista Paulina Luna. Unit 199. That was the other day. That's freaking great, actually. That is phenomenal. Look at this shit. Oh, man. What? I haven't seen this one.
I look like money.
Who you beefing with right now?
My cousin Kalo took my fruit snacks, lied about it, now we not cool.
What's a red flag you noticed early?
They call me stinker butt, but it really be they booty stinking. Don't project.
What's one thing you're not rocking with right now?
Tummy time is a setup. I'm fighting for my damn life.
What's something they do that's mad disrespectful?
Acting like I don't smell myself. Change me, bruh.
Who do you look like?
Good Lord, I have not seen that one. Wow. Yikes. So anyway, if Tree Bear is listening, can you cook up an AI montage of Jay with the song called Comfortably Dumb, a cover of the Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb? Jay is living this dream. There you have it, Tree Bear. There you have it. You're getting requests now. Default says, I heard you're a massage agent. Do you need deep tissue? Ministry of Wrong Things is too bad. That'd be the only time they ever hit net. Solar Felix says, South SA is Austin district created from a thin corridor. Oh, okay, I got you. Thank you for the clarification on that. Mr. No One says, I know that I am late and gay. I've been studying all night. Hail to all the figs in the chat and Jeremy. Thank you so much. Look at my boy Warren's G's. Warren Smith says, let's see. Theory could indict Obama for same-sex marriage in 92 before it was legal. They could, is what you meant. They could indict Obama for same-sex marriage in 92 before it was legal. Good old Barry. I like, dude, listen. I think it's pretty obvious that Obama's gay. Like, I don't think who is arguing this point Obama's gay? I think Barack Hussein Obama is a gay man. And I think that Big Mike is probably going to be signed to an NFL team as a linebacker very soon. Okay. I mean, I just think it's pretty obvious. I think Big Mike will be signed to an NFL team very soon. Why are you Jay? Says Steve DUI, funny videos, cops arrest him a lot. Okay, I'll check it out. Eric K says, this is a good show with a different host. It would be a great show. I honestly don't disagree. Zach Attack says, we need more women auto mechanics. Signed, no one. Only Sydney Sweeney. Slane Hope says, ironclad case like what Trump had on Epstein. I don't know if he had an ironclad case, though. Or on Epstein or Epstein files. Solopilo says, Michael Savage has been banned from the UK for decades. Really? Taker says, Trump should have just created the first galactic MAGA empire after the attempt on his life. Darth Vancer would have eliminated TDS from the galaxy. Oh, we could only hope. JD Vance actually made a statement about Elon. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I got to find this JD Vance thing. You reminded me because there's a theory I wanted to talk about. JD Vance. Maybe did I put it in my bookmarks on YouTube? Let's see. JD Vance had an interview with Fox News the other day. And in that interview, he had an interesting comment that I said I was going to talk to you about tonight. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Okay. Let's listen. Okay, first of all, let's just talk about the fact that JD Vance is the man. Like, this dude is so good at talking and answering questions and understanding the assignment. Like, JD Vance is fantastic. Okay. Now, Vance, I will repeat what I've said 100 times, that JD Vance is better at articulating Donald Trump's points than Donald Trump is to people that don't like Trump. So we're going to listen to this, but when we get to the point where I want to break it down, I'll tell you. But let's just listen to what he says in full.
Collusion, made-up story. Yes. Now that DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, has released all of those classified documents, we're actually seeing who was behind all of this. Do you want to see indictments?
I absolutely want to see indictments, Maria. Look, of course, you got to have the law follow the facts here. You don't just indict people to indict people. You indict people because they broke the law. But if you look at what Tulsi and Kash Patel have revealed in the last couple of weeks, I don't know how anybody can look at that and say that there wasn't aggressive violations of the law. What they basically did is they defrauded the American people in order to take Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign talking points and turn them into intelligence by defrauding the American people, defrauding the intelligence agencies.
Listen to the points he's making right here, okay? Listen to what he's saying right here.
Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign talking points and turn them into intelligence by defrauding the American people, defrauding the intelligence agencies, lying about what the intel said. They would take something that supported a Hillary Clinton campaign talking point, and they would overemphasize it and exaggerate it. They took anything that actually contradicted that narrative and they buried it deep. And through that, they actually laundered Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign talking points through the American intelligence services. That's a violation of the people's trust. That's a violation of what our intelligence services should be doing. And I absolutely think they broke the law. And you're going to see a lot of people get indicted for that. Here's the thing that should really bother the American people. What do you want our intelligence community to be doing? I want them to be catching bad guys. I want them to be making sure that terrorists aren't going to kill innocent American civilians. I don't want them laundering Hillary Clinton's campaign talking points into the American media and giving them this air of legitimacy. It is sick and it's disgusting. It hurt the intelligence community. It hurt the American people, and it hurt the first Trump administration. We've got to have consequences for it, or we're just going to see the same play repeated again and after.
Hurt the first Trump administration, okay? Hurt the first Trump administration. So by lying and colluding with all of these intelligence agencies, you hurt the first Trump administration. We'll keep listening.
Again. How significant did it impact the president's first term? Because remember, a lot of people didn't want to work in the administration. He was always on defense, saying, I didn't collude.
Sure.
What kind of an impact was there to actual policy and the impact on?
This is what I'm talking about right here, okay? I personally think that, now again, I know this is a crazy theory, and I will acknowledge it's a crazy theory, but when I first heard this interview, I said to myself, is JD Vance starting the conversation to justify a third Trump term? It's not as crazy as you think, so just listen to what he says.
On the American people?
Look, it certainly had an impact, Maria. The president likes to say this, and I really think it hits the nail on the head, that as much as he got accomplished, and I think the first Trump administration was a major, major success for the American people, he was both governing but also fighting to survive. Imagine if he was able to put 100% of his efforts and his attention on just doing the job of president of the United States. He had to fight back against the fake Russia collusion hoax pretty much his entire administration. That distracts resources, that distracts from the Department of Justice. That means the intelligence community is focused on that instead of on catching bad guys. It definitely had an impact. Thank God we have a president who was able to do good things for the American people despite it. But one of the reasons why I think the second Trump administration is going so well is because the administration, the people underneath them, the people behind them, the people working for them, they're not engaged in this fake garbage. We're just trying to carry out the mandate of the President of the United States. And I think we've done a very good job. We're very proud of the work that we're doing, but we're also loyal to the man who was elected by the American people.
And here we
I think that is an incredible starting point as to why Donald Trump's first term was completely hijacked by the lies of the most powerful people in the world. And if you can prove those things, if you can prove these, which they claim that they can, and Tulsi Gabbard has unlocked a ton of stuff, but it's going to take years for them to get all of this in order. That is a hell of a conversation to have, to say Donald Trump was not able to govern as the American people voted him to be the president of the United States because he was busy fighting lies from the previous administration, using the American system against the man that the American people voted. Just saying, it's a crazy theory, but I am here for it. Now, the argument that Trump is too old, I agree that that's a very valid point to bring up. His age, like, listen, man, we all love Trump. Trump's awesome. He defies reality. He defies logic half the time. He's 79 years old. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever defeat Father Time. We know this. Trump is probably doing it better than anyone. I don't know how he's going to be in 3 years from now. I mean, if you're looking at this objectively, we can see that decline is probably the wrong word, but you see that Trump is maybe a tad slower in his mannerisms. You can see it from when he first ran for president in 2016, 2015. Like, he's definitely slower than he was, obviously, because it's 10 fucking years ago. How is he going to be over the next 3 to 4 years? And then assuming that he would get a third term, another 4, so 8 years total. Like, that's a valid thing to bring up that nobody can answer until we get there. So I just want to acknowledge that. But at the same time, as you know, we've said and we've documented, Donald Trump, I mean,
I just feel like a young man. I'm so young. I can't believe it. I'm the youngest person. I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe. I don't know about him. I don't know. Macho man, yeah.
There it is.
We are on your 200th day, you and the president doing so much in this second term. Let's talk about the president's efforts on trade and tariffs, because he's not afraid to put significant tariffs.
Okay. I've always questioned, like, okay, that's a bad, hang on
countries like.
That's all right. So I think that Maria's, like, not bad. I'm just saying, like, am I wrong? Like, she's not bad. I've always found like she's not bad. If I'm wrong, I will own it, but I'm a fan.
Like India for buying Russian oil. Are you going to do a similar move to China as well? They're also buying Russian oil.
Well, the president said he's thinking about it, but he hasn't made any firm decisions. Obviously, the China issue is a little bit more complicated because our relationship with China, it affects a lot of other things that have nothing to do with the Russian situation. So the president's reviewing his options and, of course, going to make that decision when he decides. But look, what the president has used tariffs to do is two things. Number one, you saw Tim Cook just this week come in and promise $600 billion of investment to build the iPhone, to build components, to build artificial intelligence data centers right here in the United States of America. We're seeing a manufacturing boom in this country because you have a president who's telling people that if you want to sell to great American consumers, you've got to make it in America and use great American workers to do it. The second thing the tariffs are doing is it's bringing in a lot of additional revenue, which of course we're using to give tax relief to the American people and make it easier for average Americans to get by. So I think we're doing a lot on the tariff side. And it's also, the final point I'll make on this is it's an incredible negotiating tool. Because when you tell countries that have accessed American markets and cheated for a generation, you can't get into America's market unless you pay a big fat tariff or open up your own markets. You've seen this happen with the European Union. You've seen this happen with countries in Asia.
I want to remind everyone. Mike Pence was the VP before JD. Mike Pence was the VP before. Okay. And now we've got this guy.
Your own markets. You've seen this happen with the European Union. You've seen this happen with countries in Asia, all over the world. They're opening up their markets to American goods because they don't want to pay the tariffs. So it's a great negotiating tactic. It's been great for the American people. And I think it's the most important thing, maybe aside from the border. The most important thing the president is doing is bringing back American prosperity. We're going to make more stuff in America because of the president's leadership.
How long do you expect it'll take to get a real manufacturing infrastructure fired up in America? Because he's threatening 250% tariffs on pharmaceuticals, more tariffs on semiconductor chips, unless these companies commit to building it here. So how long before that can actually happen?
Well, the president you saw yesterday said, so long as you're committing on semiconductors and chips to build this stuff in America, he might be willing to actually delay those tariffs a little bit. So I think in some cases it's going to take a few weeks, some cases it's going to take a few months, some cases it will take longer. But the basic idea is very simple. If you are investing in America, if you're building a new facility, building a new factory, we're going to reward you for it. If you're investing outside of this country, if you're trying to cheat and bring foreign product to undercut the wages of American workers and American businesses, then you're going to pay a very stiff penalty. That principle is what now drives the American economy, and people can make their own decisions. Yeah, you can make it overseas if you want, as the president said, but you're going to pay a big fat tariff before you access America's market, so you might as well build it right here at home.
Is Europe as aligned with the United States as it should be? What did you make of the backlash over this Switzerland 39% tariff? I'm wondering your assessment of Europe today.
Look, we love Europe and obviously have a great relationships. We sometimes have some disagreements. I think the president was particularly gratified that the Europeans really have agreed and committed to open up their markets to American car manufacturers, to American farmers. Those are big wins. If you work in farming, if you work in agriculture, if you work in auto manufacturing, the Europeans really are tearing down some barriers. So we're very grateful to that, and we hope to build on that relationship economically in the coming years.
Well, look, the president has been floating you along with Marco Rubio as your partner for the next election. Have you spoken to Secretary Rubio about this?
I saw Marco about a month ago. We just laughed at the whole thing because neither one of us are focused on politics. We're focused on actually doing a good job for the American people. And the way that I think about it, Maria, is if we do a good job, number one, that's the reward in and of itself, that all have made a big difference in the lives of our country. For the last 6 months.
This is a good answer, by the way. This is a good, and again, if you would have told me that Marco Rubio would be like one of the most impressive people in this Trump administration, I would have said you're fucking crazy. But I have to say, Marco Rubio he's not my favorite person in the administration outside of Trump. I mean, that probably is JD Vance, but he is definitely the biggest surprise of anybody. I mean, Rubio has been incredible. And of all of my criticisms of Rubio, my dislike of him, he has been unbelievable.
The next 3.5 years. But if we do a good job, the politics will take care of itself. Let's just focus on that. I think, as the president said, it's way too early to be thinking about the political future. It's frankly way too early to be thinking about 2026. It's certainly way too early to be thinking about 2028.
But you are expecting to run for president in 28.
I'm not going to break that news today, Maria. What I'm going to do is focus for the next 1.5 years on doing a really good job for the American people. winning the midterm elections in 2026. Then we can talk about politics after that.
Can you give us some clarity on this meeting that is reportedly happening or happened last night at the White House about the Epstein files and how you're communicating the Epstein story?
So I've seen so many different fake reports about this. So let me set the record straight. There was no meeting at my house last night. There just wasn't.
Was there a meeting at the White House?
We did meet at the White House yesterday, but not at the time that they said that we were going to meet, and not about the subject that they said that we were going to meet about. We have a great FBI director and a great Department of Justice lead, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and we met to talk about how to ensure we have justice for the American people. We actually didn't talk about the Epstein issue at all. That was never meant to be the subject of the meeting. And it's one of those things where I guess somebody leaked a calendar entry maybe, and then people assumed that it must have been about Epstein, even though it had nothing to do with Epstein. On the Epstein issue, what the president has said very clearly, because we've had other meetings about that, is that he wants us to be fully transparent and he wants the credible information out there. So we're working to compile the thousands and thousands of documents that are out there for full transparency. But I have to say, Maria, I laugh at the Democrats who are now all of a sudden so interested in the Epstein files. For 4 years, Joe Biden and the Democrats did absolutely nothing about this story. We know that Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of connections with left-wing politicians and left-wing billionaires. And now President Trump has demanded full transparency from this. And yet somehow the Democrats are attacking him and not the Biden administration, which did nothing for 4 years.
Was it the right move for Comer to send subpoenas to the Clintons?
It absolutely was. And it drives home how, while the Democrats have tried to make this Epstein thing about anything but the fact that Democrat billionaires and Democrat political leaders went to Epstein Island all the time. Who knows what they did, but it's totally reasonable to ask these questions. What you saw in the House's subpoena is there.
I'll be honest. So we'll play this remaining clip right here of him talking about it, and then I'll play something else because I have another theory about the Epstein stuff here in just a minute.
We're trying to investigate all of the things related to this particular case. I know a lot of Americans want answers. I certainly want answers. And I think James Comer and the team of the House, they're doing the right thing. And of course, we know that Clinton, or allegedly he went to the island 26 times, 28 times. Totally appropriate for Comer to be asking what was going on at that island.
Let me get your quick take on growth.
So I want to play this really quick because this is the truth of where we are now with the Epstein situation. The Epstein saga is becoming a political dud and a nothing burger. Google searches for Epstein are down 89% from just 3 weeks ago. Now, I want you to understand. I want to listen. This is what I want to emphasize on, but let's listen to what they say really quick. Okay.
I would say that this is, from at least a political point of view, quickly turning into a dud of a story. What am I talking about here?
Which is wild.
Which is wild.
This has been for 3 weeks.
Exactly. Now. Take a look here. Google searches for Epstein down 89% versus just 3 weeks ago.
Now, my theory behind this is the reason is, and I know the audio is a little low. I can't do anything about it, but I think that there was some real traction on the Epstein story when it first blew up. I think that the big problem with the Epstein story was the Democrats getting involved in it because they have no credibility. They have no credibility whatsoever. The Democrats don't. And so as soon as the Democrats started to talk about the Epstein situation, that's when I think people said, oh, get the fuck out of here. Like when it was MAGA people and when we were talking about Pam Bondi's handling of it and we were talking about the binders and how disastrous that was, I think there was some legitimate stuff. As soon as the Democrats started to jump in and pretend to start caring about it, I think everybody checked out and said, oh, fuck off. Like, oh, this is another fake story. That's when it poisoned the water of any credibility that this story had that was going to get any traction. I think most people looked at it and said, if the Democrats are talking about it, who cares? And I think that they have basically made this story a political dud. And so I'm not going to listen to this whole video because you guys said the audio is low, but Trump's approval rating is holding steady and much higher than term one at this point in his presidency. Less than 1% say it's the nation's top issue. And I think that the Democrats have basically just decided, or I don't know if they were intending to to snowball this, or I'm sorry, to like just destroy this, which it was a snowball. It was starting to gain speed and steam, and then the Democrats got involved in it, and suddenly it's just like it's become just like a big dud where nobody really cares about it anymore, generally speaking. And so you guys can tell me like, oh, well, certain people do, and that's fine, but that's you know, do people care about it on a large scale? And it just doesn't seem like they do. And I think that there was an opportunity for this story to have some traction. I was criticizing the handling of it, but the moment that Nancy fucking Pelosi started talking about it, the moment that, you know, the Democrats started talking about it, the people that didn't talk about it for 4 years because it was a negative Trump story, that's when normies looked at the situation and said, we don't care. That's a theory, though. That's just my theory. So anyway, let's get back to JD Vance in this interview really quick.
And this moment in time that we're at, AI, crypto, et cetera, the Securities and Exchange Commission launching Project Crypto. What do you want digital assets to look like? And also, what about the impact of AI on jobs? Is there a plan now to fill those holes for the jobs that no doubt will go away because AI makes everything so much more productive?
There's a lot of talk about robots destroying all the jobs. There's a lot of talk about how AI is going to destroy everybody's job. I actually don't see the evidence of that. What I think is that AI, there are some issues. I worry about the surveillance state because artificial intelligence is going to be used for that. I really worry about invasions of people's privacy because AI could be used for that. There are definitely concerns with AI, but I think that the big risk is fundamentally you've got a bunch of very left-wing people who might use AI to censor people and drive a very left-wing narrative using artificial intelligence. In some ways, they're going to do with AI what they tried to do with big tech. Those are the things that we're really focused on, the dangers that we're really focused on. But Maria, there's a lot of upside too. And if you got to focus on the dangers, but you've also got to focus on the opportunity. I think it's going to help us cure diseases in amazing ways. I think it's going to lead to a boom in construction jobs. I think we're going to be able to do things that we weren't able to do before. And there might be some disruptions, but fundamentally, when it comes to jobs, we ought to be focused on the ways in which AI is going to create great productivity and great new economic opportunities. What I worry about is the focus on the job destroying effects of AI distract us from the fact that AI could be used to create new surveillance systems, that AI could be used to censor conservatives or other people in new and very scary ways.
Listen, man, AI, if you're not worried about AI, AI is absolutely dangerous, dude. And it's easy to kind of dismiss it, but that is the wrong approach. AI is getting so fucking advanced that it is downright scary. So I know that, and when I say you can dismiss it, it's like some people say, well, AI movies and all that. Like, dude, we're like a year away from like maybe 2 years away from like fucking AI, full on AI movies that are going to dominate. Like, it's crazy. And there's a mentality. Some people are like, oh, well, no, people aren't going to accept that. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And especially like, I don't think that I or you are going to be necessarily replaced by AI. But I mean, I got a kid. I'm going to have one day, I'm going to have grandkids. My grandkids are probably going to live in a world that is dominated by AI. And you look at me, like, I'll sit here and you can say, well, AI is not real and all that. And it's like, yeah, neither is Batman and Superman. And I spend all day arguing over them. Okay. Batman and Superman aren't real, but I'll fucking argue till I'm fucking blue in the face over Batman and Superman because, you know, and Nintendo and fucking Mario and Zelda and all that shit, you know, when AI takes over in whatever it's going to be, it will change the world. It's just like when I was growing up with video games and how, you know, that generation felt about video games and they were very dismissive of it. But me growing up with video games starting to really impact the culture and watching the evolution of video games and how I'm so plugged into video games now, that's how the AI stuff is going to happen. The problem is the AI stuff is fucking terrifying because of what it can do and how reliant we're going to be on it. Like me just watching how Grok talks to people is insane. Like, look how Grok is talking to people. Look at how it responds to people. Anyway, AI is very scary.
That's what we're focused on. I think it's the right danger, but also the right opportunity for us to focus on.
And just the final question on
Please.
China, because nobody does surveillance better than China. What else can the U.S. do to keep China in a box? Because they're undermining us at every turn. Just this week, Senator Tom Cotton sent a letter to Intel about its CEO because it was selling secrets to companies tied to the Chinese military.
Yep.
Is there anything else to be done there that you'd like to discuss?
Well, there is, and this is where it goes back to having a really great FBI director and a really great attorney general, is that when people are stealing America's secrets or stealing our corporate intellectual property and sending it to anywhere, we've got to prosecute that stuff. We know that Chinese companies have been really big offenders when it comes to the theft of American intellectual property. We got to prosecute that stuff and push back against that stuff. We have to make sure that we don't have people who are spying on American companies, either in our education laboratories or in the companies themselves. But the most important thing that we need to do is we need to protect our own manufacturing. The way that China was able to catch up to us technologically is that they took all of these great manufacturing industries and built a whole technology infrastructure on top of that manufacturing base. We've got to rebuild our own country, rebuild our own innovative capacity. The president has taken huge strides over the past 7 months in making that happen, and building America up is the best way for us to win this competition.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here.
So there you go. I thought JD was great, and there's probably a little bit longer version of that. I mean, I think there's probably more to that interview, but I just heard that clip right there, and I saw a few clips on Fox News. But yeah, man, it is really good, and he's great, and I'm really happy that Trump picked him. I got to address this one thing because in the last few weeks, obviously with Hulk Hogan's passing, and today is Hulk Hogan's birthday. RIP to the legend, but I've covered a lot of wrestling here. I mentioned Vince McMahon, and I've talked about the Brock Lesnar thing, and I've had some people in the live chat making some very derogatory statements about professional wrestling. I saw someone say it was fake. Well, I hate to prove you wrong, but if wrestling is fake, can you explain this clip? And okay, maybe you're like, okay, well, Jeremy, they're parodying Jesus. That's a little disrespectful. That's not helping your case. Fine. I got another clip. If wrestling is fake, explain this clip.
Tremont. Greg Jackson always seems to be one step ahead of the entire combat. Oh, no. Oh, God. What? Oh, my God. Step ahead of Tremont.
Oh, man. So funny. Oh, fucking love it, dude. Oh, man. So, so all you haters calling it fake, what now? What you got now? Okay. The people that are like that, I love those people that they call wrestling fake, and they act like they're the first person that's ever said it. They think like they're the first person's like you know that's not real, right? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It's real. It's still real to me. Damn it! It's the guy that makes fun of Christian Bale's Batman voice, and he acts like he's the first guy that's made that joke. And you're like, dude, you're like not the first guy that's made that joke. You realize that, right? Like literally everybody's made that joke. So, don't tell Jeremy wrestling's fake. He still believes it's real. It's not real anymore, but back then it was real. Back in my day, wrestling was absolutely real. Back in my day. Not so much anymore. Now it's garbage. So, which sucks. Burb Shid says, do the bad guys include the Epstein clients? I don't know. Crimerica Industry says, Maria has huge knockers. No joke. I knew I respected her. Spike's Best Suit says, Maria could get it, but she's got to keep the glasses on. Eli says, first time super chatter. Hail the 199. First time super chatter. Welcome in to the snake pit. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Too Tired says, it's poisoned the well, not water, Jeremy. Either way, I'm retarded, so it's okay. Taker says, Jeremy, how many letters in AI again? God, I don't know. Let me look this up. I think that, hang on. I think that I can find the answer. Hang on. This is going to be tough. I'm looking for it now. There's an expert on this topic. If I can find it. This is a very, you got to be very, very, very smart in order to come up with this answer. So how many letters are in AI? Okay, here's an expert. We've got an expert to answer the question. Let's find out.
And I think the first part of this issue that should be articulated is AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters.
Hey. Okay. Hey, there you go. Let's listen to that one more time.
And I think the first part of this issue that should be articulated is AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters.
Those are the facts. Those are the facts right there. That was, thank God for Kamala Harris. I don't know if there's another, we often talk about thank God for Elon Musk. There's not another human being that could have, bought Twitter and dealt with all the stuff because he's the richest man in the world. Thank God for President Trump because nobody else would have dealt with all the stuff he dealt with and accomplished what he accomplished. And thank God for Kamala Harris because there's not another human being on the planet that had the balls and the guts to answer that question and give that information to the American people. Harley Dave says, Jeremy, we could chat for hours about AI. Maybe we're going to have to then, brother. Sam Uri says, look up Maria Bartiromo on CNBC in the 90s, 2000s. I'm going to have to do that now. Bender Alyssa says, hey, Jeremy, Snoop Dogg is performing at the 2025 Toyota AFL Grand Final in Australia. Thoughts? IDOT Unit 199, Trump 2028. I don't really I used to listen to Snoop Dogg back in the day. I was, when he was on the Chronic album with Dr. Dre, and then he had his first solo album, which was Doggy Style. Murder Was the Case was huge. I didn't really listen to Snoop after Murder Was the Case, except for his collabs with Tupac, and all that. He had some songs here and there with Pharrell Williams that I liked, but I really have not. I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to a Snoop Dogg song. I respect the fact that he's a legend for sure. But yeah, back in the day though, I remember, I've told this story before, but this just shows how the worst thing I did as a kid is I bought the Chronic and Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style illegally. Like, that was about the worst thing I did as a kid. And I was so fucking nervous because I was not of age to buy those albums. I knew it had parental advisory explicit lyrics on it. And I was just sweating because it was like people at school, they were like, yo, there's a place in town that'll sell the Chronic and, Doggy Style. You just got to go in there, man. Don't say shit. Just give them the money. And, it's like a drug deal or some shit because I'm buying a fucking CD or a tape actually at that point. And so I remember when I bought the Chronic and Doggy Style, and I remember leaving, and I was so fucking scared because I thought the cops were going to fucking arrest me. Like, I thought it was maybe a stinging operation or some shit to kind of just arrest kids for buying rap albums. So I'm scared to death leaving the store, bro. I'm so terrified. And being a genius from Alabama that I am, I knew my parents would take the tapes away from me if they heard the lyrics. So I knew with, the cassette back in the day, you had the two little holes up top. And if you took wadded up piece of paper and you put them in the holes, when you hit, was it record and play, you could dub out little sections of the song. So my genius theory was that I'm just going to take a timestamp of all the fucking bad words in the songs, and I'm going to just dub out everything. That did not go as planned, because whereas I was trying to dub out individual words, I ended up dubbing out 10 seconds every fucking time. It was just they'd be rapping, and when I knew the bad word comes in, I would dub it out, but it was a fucking 6 or 7 second pause. And I'm like, this is a bad idea. Now I got to go undercover and buy this shit all over again because I've ruined my tape. So yeah, man, it was fun back in those days. So, because I was like, man, if my mom hears Gin and Juice, she's taking this shit away from me. I can't listen to Gin and Juice under any circumstance whatsoever. There's no way I can listen to Gin and Juice. My mom hears this, it's done. So, Bubba Doom says, play the Letterman Big John Stud clip. Big John Stud was awesome back in the day. I don't know which one that, I don't know if that's listed under WWE or not. They'll hit me for it if it is. Flag Ninja says, he hath choke slammed. Bender Alyssa sent me on a memory lane with that Snoop Dogg question though. So, but yeah, I mean, look, man, we'll see how it goes for Snoop. I didn't know he was still performing. Oh yeah, Two Live Crew was a whole nother level. So was Too Short. I listened to Too Short back in the day. Pay Style. Too Short was awesome. But yeah, Two Live Crew was a whole nother level. But yeah, in my mind, whatever I was, I don't remember how old I was back then, but in my mind, my perception of Snoop Dogg is that he was just killing everyone. Anybody that talked bad about Snoop Dogg, I just had this perception that Snoop's just killing everybody. He's killing anybody that talks shit about him. If somebody says anything bad about Snoop Dogg, I remember my cousin put up the West Side logo, it hit the hand logo in a pool one time. I'm like, bro, if somebody sees that shit, they're going to kill us. Don't ever put the West Side logo up again, bro. We'll die. Snoop Dogg will put a hit out on us right now. Oh, it was funny as hell, man. But then the internet came out and destroyed all of our theories about what people were. And then you learn that Snoop Dogg's just a weed smoking dude. He's just chilling, smoking weed. I'm like, man, I thought you were a real gangster, man. You had Murder Was the Case. I thought he was a real gangster. And he's like, I just want to smoke weed. I'm like, fuck. What a fucking letdown. I thought you were this dude just killing everybody that looked at you the wrong way. R.I.P. Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg was awesome. Absolutely. Right here, we're going to close it out on this one really quickly. But right here, the ratio heard around the world. So Nancy Pelosi says Donald Trump delayed deploying the National Guard on January 6th when our Capitol was under violent attack and lives were at stake. Now he's activating the D.C. Guard to distract from his incompetent mishandling of tariffs, healthcare, education, and immigration, just to name a few. Chief Stephen Sund says, ma'am, it is long past time to be honest with the American people. On January 3rd, I requested National Guard assistance, but your sergeant at arms denied it. Under federal law, I was prohibited from calling them in without specific approval. That same day, Carol Corbin at the Pentagon offered National Guard support, but I was forced to decline because I lacked the legal authority. On January 6th, while the Capitol was under attack and despite my repeated calls, your sergeant at arms again denied my urgent requests for over 70 agonizing minutes, quote, running it up the chain for your approval. When I needed assistance, it was denied. Yet when it suited you, you ordered fencing topped with a wire, whatever type of wire that is, and surrounded the Capitol with thousands of armed National Guards. Nancy Pelosi is a lying fucking bitch. There is video to show that she took responsibility the day of. She admitted it on fucking camera. And she just got absolutely annihilated. This is the greatest ratio maybe of all time, where you have this. And again, the fact that South Park is making memes about Kristi Noem's face, yet we live in a world where Nancy Pelosi is a thing, and you're going to meme on Kristi Noem's face, but not Nancy fucking Pelosi's face. Are you kidding me right now? Like, seriously? Have you seen her face? You don't even have to add anything to it. Just show her fucking face. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, just wanted to point this one out. Absolutely glorious. You love to see it. Vic's World for 10 says, when I was younger and I purchased the clean versions of Eminem's album, Marshall Mathers LP, The Eminem Show, and Encore, my parents wouldn't be too upset if they caught me listening to them. Good times. Absolutely. I remember that, man. I remember when Eminem came onto the scene too. It was crazy. Mr. No One says, I did the same thing with the Marshall Mathers LP. Yep, there it is. German the Cyborg says, an easier way to record over older tapes was to use tape over the holes. I never did the tape thing, but yeah, you're right about that. All right. Well, we are at the end of the stream, everyone. Another one in the books. So that's 2 CobraCast today. 2 CobraCast today. We had one very early this morning, and now here we are with another one to close out the day, just as the way that the Lord intended it. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have had a lot of fun. You want Sabaton? We'll end Sabbath. We'll end it with Sabaton. No gaming stream for me tonight, but we'll end it with Sabaton because the people asked for it. The people get what they want around here. So you guys have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.